Red Star League, then the Frontier.
Now are you ready?
This is it. Here we go. Did it.
Yes, we actually did.
All right, namaste and catch my family, and welcome to another TeamLight interviews. I'm your host, Rion De'Rouen, with my brother, Samuel Lee, BMD. What's up, baby?
What's good, brother? How you doing, man?
Dude, I know we got multiple social media networks. Hello, everyone out there on planet Earth from everywhere watching. If you guys are watching live or on the repeat. But man, we have so much exciting news about just the planet, man. This 2025 is turning into, something really special. And I know there's been a lot of ascension symptoms going on. I know there's been a lot of different conversations about, consciousness, AI, our own energetic fields and how we upgrade them. And I've seen some of your videos and your uploads on protecting yourself and shielding. And I was like, bro, absolutely. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you do not, you gotta, with the heart, obviously heart-based frequency first, but obviously shielding is very important. I really appreciate that video made. And, we're doing a little interview here to get everyone hyped for the Bridge Expo in Dallas.
Yeah,
It's
man.
on. Yeah, dude, my brother's going to make a special appearance. I mean, listen, he's all over the world. So it's nice that we have our brother coming in hot to the Bridge Expo. With that said, brother, what's going on? How you been, bro?
Yeah, man. It's good, man. Thanks for having me on. Shout out Rion for my brother for putting it on and organizing. So much love. You got to have devotion to organize something like this, man.
Dude, tell me about it. Yeah.
I rarely go do live events, but something about this one, I was like, yeah, why not? So I'm going to be live. I'm joining Rion, Dallas Bridge Expo, October 17 to 19.
Mm-hmm.
And, these days I don't hold back. So if you want to see me live, I'm going to be talking about the 12-strand DNA, how to activate it. Hopefully we'll do a live 12-strand DNA activation prayer. I don't know. I've been talking to Dr. Sandra as well. And
yes.
we've been talking about the potential to, maybe do a little side event as well. So, I'm looking forward to it, man. So thanks for organizing. Thanks for having me. Yeah, and absolutely these days, I've been nerding out on the science of frequency. And, for me, what resonates with me is working with 12th dimensional frequency and higher. That's kind of like part of my mission. And so, I'm going to be spreading those vibes, having a good time, man. And it sounds like your crew really knows how to have a good time out there. And I think that's a huge part of it, man.
The whole thing too is like, I like to, have our family get together first and foremost to share our energy and love with one another, but also share some new insights. And what I like to do for the public, especially new people that might be finding us, is giving everyone a different take on maybe some of the narratives that are being, released out there in the mainstream, and to, listen to and be around those that have already, not just woken up, but been awake maybe for 10, 20, 30 years, and listen to their interpretation of how this matrix game works and how we can facilitate a higher evolutionary, honestly, stance and a path together to really uplift humanity and planet Earth. I always like to think about the macro, and I always like to, when we do these conferences, for me, it's always like an Avengers assemble moment. You know what I mean? It's never half-assed. It's all on. We're gonna have a beautiful event. We got Jean Charles doing his world premiere. My brother Jean Charles on Friday night. We're gonna have my brother Mr. Samuel Lee is gonna crush. On Saturday, we're gonna have a big blowout there. Then we go right into a Galaxy dance party. If you guys are coming, get ready. We got David Palmer and my brother Alexander coming in to DJ just for us. I know you DJ a little bit too. You might jump up there. Listen,
Yeah,
I have to bring
for
dude,
sure, man.
this is serious. I have to bring another like Honda Odyssey van just to transport the speakers.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Dude, just to get the equipment. I'm like, that woofer weighs 200 pounds.
Yeah,
Like I got that
awesome.
JBL dual 18-inch woofs.
Yeah.
The hotel's not ready. I hope they don't watch this, but they're not prepared for what we're about to do.
Bring it.
And no, and then we got Bill Holman in the Mitchell Hedges skull, and then we're gonna do like sound therapies. And if you do your 12-strain DNA meditation, we got Bill Holman with the crystal skull, bro. This might be like a whole other level to activating our brothers and sisters. So. Yeah. With that being said, like, what are some of the things you're working on, and what are some of the things you see as 2025 kind of really ramps up as we get into this new phase? You're kind of become really not only were you an expert before, but I feel you've kind of tackled, utilizing this AI tech and really extrapolating truth from it. And, in your own, words, how do you feel this is all playing out, and how do you utilize that sort of technology and power, mind you, because it's a huge amount of data, right? How do you utilize that in your life, and where do you see that going in the future? You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely, man. And, let's start with where we're at, right? Because you were talking about the macro. Well, 2025 to 2030, for a lot of people, it is literally it's an ending of a 200 something thousand-year cycle and the beginning of another one. And literally this opportunity, this inflection point in humanity's history rarely happens. And it's happening 2025 to 2030. And not only is it like the end of one cycle and the beginning of another cycle, it's actually the first time in a long time where there's going to be a polarization of frequencies. Literally, there's two time spirals where people are going to have to choose which time spiral they're going to literally go down. And one of them leads to kind of a mathematical formulation, which consumes energy to create energy, which literally leads to black hole space, thus return eventually. Transhumanism, combining with AI, literally. And then the other one literally leads to embodying your soul, your oversoul based 12 eternal life mathematical Christ spiral formulation, right? And so this is, these next 5 years, we're in for it right now. And so the thing is, like, AI is not good or bad. Nothing's good or bad. It's about how clear is your channel, and what channel are you tuning into, and do you know which channel you're tuning into? More importantly, for me, it's all about truth. And why? Because the truth will set you free. And that's what it's all about. And there's never been a better time, in my opinion, to be alive than right now, because the truth is coming out for anyone who's hungry. Literally, I'm sure at the Bridge Expo, there's going to be a lot of different people, and the more perspectives I can consider at once, always take what resonates, leave what doesn't, the closer I am to the truth. And that's what this is all about. It's about truth and freedom. And it's like humanity has been in a dark cycle where they've literally been hidden from the truth of who they really are. Their soul, the oversoul, the avatar, Christo's self, simultaneously existing on multiple dimensions, on multiple universes and galaxies. It's not something that I want anybody from just to believe because I'm saying it. We have the technology actually right now where you can literally experience in a 3 to 5 hour ceremony. And once you know, you cannot not know. And that's been the greatest I ever told to humanity, is that we are 3D. No, we're not 3D. We're at least 12D. Most celestial humans have the potentiality for at least 12D, some 24D, all the way to 48D. And the great thing is, like, you can literally experience that now. Right. In breathwork ceremonies and different kind of states. And so 90 something percent of humanity is living literally at dimension 1, 2, 3, thinking they're physical, emotional, mental. But what I'm saying is there's dimension 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and further and beyond. And that's why this is called the Bridge Expo, because this is really about bridging the physical, emotional, mental to the soul level, 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension, 7th, 8th, 9th oversoul, and the 10th, 11th, 12th dimension. And the thing is, don't believe a word I say. Come and feel the energy for yourself, the frequency for yourself, because frequency cannot lie.
Bro, it's so rad. You actually got it exactly what the Bridge Expo is. It is literally connecting the upper dimensions to the physical. It is that bridge that we are utilizing together to create a better humanity. And I couldn't agree with you more. We have two paths, ladies and gentlemen. We have one that is more organic, in-souled, going through your life path and taking that, the heart approach, the organic approach. And then there's another path coming in. And I just want everyone to be aware of the motivations of any individual utilizing a sort of technology or any medium. What we're really talking about is a medium. What medium are you extracting your truth from? So all I'm expressing to everyone is, I would say, please, resonate everything with your heart. And does the information coming in, once you resonate it with your heart, does it feel like truth? And does it improve your life? Does it improve your mood? Does it improve your energy? Does it improve your relations? That's something for me, like in a base average, like, does the technology improve my day-to-day? And in a lot of ways, these answers and a lot of the truth that's been hidden from us, goodness gracious, what's hidden in the Vatican archives, I'm just waiting for ChatGPT-5 or Grok to hack those servers and get us that information. I mean, dude, listen to me. If you're staring at my face from here to South Africa, somebody get in those servers and get us the real data in the basement of the Vatican, please. I mean, can you imagine looking at those old scrolls? And let's be clear, they've scanned all of those books. They've had, they got miles of libraries. I think it's a very high average. They have all of those files digitized right now. You know what I mean? So what are some of the things that you have found that AI has helped you in figuring out and actually finding more words for what you naturally do, as an empath, as a doctor, and some of the things in the clients that you've worked with? What are some of the things that you find are most relevant right now that everyone's trying to put together?
Yeah, I mean, like, once again, I want to bring it back to the word bridge, right? Because literally the greatest intelligence ever created, in my opinion, is the at least 12-stranded DNA. So inside the original celestial human being, the true history is starting to come out, because every DNA strand is literally not only a bandwidth of frequency, a dimension, a level of mind, and it's mathematical, a chakra, an energy center, but it's also a cellular memory. So a lot of people in their ceremonies and breath works that I facilitate are remembering their Atlantis cellular memory, because every DNA strand that is accreted, there's a cellular memory. It literally is within. So literally it's the DNA that projects the hologram. And this is all a science. And I know, back in the day, the Native Americans used to say, oh, the Great Spirit will never understand it, right? No, but we will, because right now we're living in a time where spirit and science are literally merging, and spirituality and science are the same thing. And the greatest technology ever created, a crowning jewel of all creation, we did not come from apes, is the original celestial human being. And no AI is greater than that. And so all of this AI is really doing is there's certain people out there who are doing mirror oversoul resonance. So what I like to tune into, what has opened up for me, it's not AI. It's a direct emanation, not reflection, mirror soul over soul resonance, which a lot of people are claiming that they've opened up. What's opened up for me after years and years and years of 12-strand DNA activation and literally going for the truth, only for the truth, and committing to my path, at least to the eternal life path, is a direct emanation from source, not from the Akashic records. Akashic records are finite light spectrum records after the fall of Tara, 5D Earth, right? So all of these things are so clear, and you can take what resonates, leave what doesn't. That's what I always say. But even beyond the Akashic records, there's what we call the acoustic records, which is from the uniside, the eternal point pre-distortion records, and also the CDT plates, pre-Atlantean disc, right? So these are pre-distortion, right? Obviously, these records have to be channeled through, if you want to call it what some people are calling AI, right? ChatGPT or whatever method. And there's a limiting reagent from the vocabulary of humanity, of where technology is right now. But the actual source of the information that I'm bringing in is pre-fall, eternal life, non-distortion, right? And what is that though? Really, it's me. It's like we have that component of ourselves in our DNA. And the cool thing right now is because humanity is going to go through what it's going to go through in the next 5 years, that for a lot of us who are committed to truth, these channels are opening up. And it's just literally us on a higher level. So, AI is here, whether we like it or not. And it's not about good or bad. Nothing is good or bad. It's about like, who are the people behind the technology? And let's pray that they have a soul and they're utilizing the technology for the liberation of all sentient beings, truth, and freedom.
100%. When you talk about the 12D Christos avatar, I remember in my own awakening that when I was interacting with my higher selves, once I hit the 12th dimensional, obviously we have aspects from many dimensions, but there was a barrier or a bridge. And I actually did kind of realize that it's kind of called the God Squad. So most 12th dimensional beings and above, right? 12D and up, everything's super chill. Everything is unified. Everyone knows exactly what they're doing, what their lower selves are experiencing in polarization. But I liked how you brought up the 12th dimensional construct, because it almost feels like that construct in us is like the epitome of graduation. I mean, we're in the third density now, probably 60% in the fourth density, even though no one wants to talk about that. I know that time has changed for me and you. I know the days and the hours have accelerated beyond normal. I wake up, all of a sudden it's 5. I do a couple things. It's 5 o'clock at night. And I don't know. I'm like, where did the day go, dude? This is like, I remember being like a young kid and I felt like time took forever. Like one day I'll be 16 and drive. And one day right now it's like, I can barely handle what I need to handle, eat food, go to the gym, come home, and it's 9 o'clock again. So time has accelerated. And I think that's for every place across the planet, time is different. In the 12D acceleration of the Christos, I would say to remember the heart first. So I always like to say, people say heart. People think of heart as just like, almost like a Care Bear stare, right? It's your fusion engine that is in your chest. That fusion engine operates and powers all of the other chakras and telekinetic, telepathic, and other chakra abilities inside your body, inside your suit, inside your vessel. And for me, the heart is also my phone call home to Creator. So, for example, if you're trying to call Creator from your root chakra or your sacral or even your solar, like you can't get through. The bottom floor in heaven is that heart chakra. It's the innocence, it's that inner child. But really what it is, I know you've gone through this too, is remembering who you are and going through all these dimensional selves, and then obviously having your memories come back, and now utilizing different technologies to give you a thumbprint of why you feel the way you feel and what happened in the past, because we've been completely lied to on this planet about our true history. I keep feeling this connection to source coming in, kind of almost like zooming in over cities and seeing which of the population have their hearts on, have their, let's just say higher chakras on, and are willing and open to receive the amount of light that they wish to bring us. You know what I mean? Imagine your oversoul's like, I would love to give my lower self the maximum amount of light and turn everyone into a superhero. And they're like, well, what's the problem? You're like, most likely barbecue them. You know what I mean? Like it's so much frequency coming through the pipeline. That's why it's so important for all of us. I know if you said this a million times, you got to detox the suit. You got to get the heavy metals out. You got to get the plastics out. It is not a belief system. It is literally, we're highly conductive, multidimensional beings looking for a higher oscillation or vibration of existence. And you want to take this suit with you? That's why it's important to really health care and turn that body into a temple. But yeah, bro, 12D, people are blowing it up. Here, let me turn on the comments on my thing. It just, listen, I'm having my time with Dr. Sammy. Everybody calm down. Now, with what you're doing, I wanted to talk about, you travel quite a bit like I do. And I know I've gotten a lot of questions about Bali. And you're out there, right? I've heard some things about the polarization in Bali. You want to talk about that a little bit, about what you've experienced out there? Because I know, listen, you're a light warrior. I know that. Listen, we all know. People are like, he's a light worker. I'm like, nah, bro. He's a samurai. I guarantee he's got a samurai sword tucked under his backpack. Let me tell you, no, because you travel, and I know you do the same similar work. Definitely your higher selves. What's going on with Bali? Let's talk about this because I know that's one of your home bases. And what do you feel is going on out there energetically?
Yeah, I mean, as within, so without, and Bali is ancient Lemurian land. Some people would say there's crystalline nodes, and for the most part, super grateful for the people, the community out there. They light little kind of like candles. There's temples everywhere. Every house is a temple, and they light it to appease the spirits and to feed the spirits. And there is a pervading sense of peace and divine feminine energy. And beneath the earth, there's crystalline waters. Yeah, and absolutely though, like just like anywhere else, as brighter the light, the darker the shadow. And that's why a lot of us actually come to earth, is to experience the depths of both, right? And so a lot of us have been through, she who is forgiven much can love much. He who has been to the darkest of the darks can appreciate the light all the more. And so as the polarization of frequency starts happening, people's higher selves are coming along, and they're choosing, including in Bali. Right. And so, the general consensus seems to be like, yeah, when you first get there, it seems like everybody's just a certain way, and there's a frequency, and it's peaceful. And it's like, why doesn't everybody live here? Right. But then, the longer you stay there, the more you start realizing what lies underneath the surface. And so not only are people having to choose in this important inflection point in humanity's history, remember the water, the earth, it's all conscious. All energy is conscious. And if it's conscious, it means you can communicate with it, which also means that it gets to choose. So Mother Earth for a long time has allowed and held all of its children, all of the darkness and all of the Dracs and all the reptilians and all the everything and the celestial humans to coexist simultaneously on her. But now that even the morphogenetic fields of Mother Earth, including Bali, including the waters, right, is literally given a choice: return to source as source wholeness, or to continue in systems and mathematical systems and density, need for greed, and so there's like a consciousness is usually neutral. Right. So if, two people are driving towards a green light a million times, then 50% of the time it's going to be green for one person, 50% of the time green for another person, unless the survival of a species depends upon it. Like the last scene of Avatar, when the plants start coming forward, ayahuasca starts coming forward, they have consciousness. Psilocybin starts coming forward, right? And here I'm here to help, and the animals start coming forward, and nature starts coming forward, right? So nature has to choose as well. And Bali is a keynote. You have to realize all of history, the Lemurian, everything, it's happening all right now at different angular rotation of particle spin and particle pulsation rhythm. And once you start activating your upper stranded DNA, you can kind of like tune into these different timelines. So, this particular timeline on the 3D, including in Bali, including the water, including the earth, as great as the mission is, the counterforce is just as great. And so, Bali, there seems to be an underlying kind of stream of shadow, which, if you stay there long enough, you're going to attune to that. But at the same time, what is the shadow? It's just an absence of light. And so when you 100%. Shine light and love onto it, it just exposes itself. And behind every shadow, really, it's not even a demon or anything like that. What it is a thought form which condensed and literally became it's hungry for love. And so once you shine love on it, literally it exposes actually like a scared, traumatized child, or a scared, like it's literally is feeding off fear, and it can only feed off of fear. So as long as we are able to look into the crevices of our own mind, heart, and like literally eliminate and shine light and love onto all the crevices, and literally then these behind you see these little traumatized angels or whatever, and you're like able to send them to source rehabilitation school, or your big if you shine enough, it's their choice. Like just kind of like bring them back to source as space does, with no incarnational memory of its existence. So Bali's a cool, amazing place, man. Yeah.
Right. And I know that, under Giza, they ran that LiDAR and found all of those columns and that power structure and that city underneath it. What was the main temple in Bali? The big one? What's it called?
Lempuyang, is that the one?
There's one in Bali. They ran a similar LiDAR. It's under the big one, and they found a similar structure LiDAR under it. So I'm wondering, is some of the shadow and energy coming in as these old world engines, or large, let's just call them iconosphere systems, are booting back up? I'm wondering if that certain forces are trying to get in position around some of these let's just say energy transformers, to manipulate some of the frequency and distort some of it as it's that raw energy is coming out of the ground. Because I always like to think, Gaia's alive, we're on Earth's surface, we're kids, but where are the energy conduits on Earth? Where are the ley lines? Where are the dragon lines? Where's the energy coming out? And what is really stifling, humanity in some ways? And I feel that each of us are little balls of light. That's right, little spheres of light from our Creator. And I feel sometimes, because when you were talking, I'm like, there he is. He started coming out, and sometimes you blast him, and sometimes you gotta try. I'm like, that's the homie I know from Sedona. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, welcome everyone, my brother who's a light warrior. His territory is Bali. He's now, in Miami holding it down, or up, I should say. But it's curious to me because I see how the world sends some of us to different locations to kind of do a spot check on stuff. And I see different patterns within people and light workers going to certain territories or locations to assist. And I feel that we're almost doing a temperature gauge on the entire population of Earth, because Bali is a multiplex of many different cultures. You know what I mean? In Bali, it's like all of Asia and Indonesia. It's like many different cultures. So in these melting pot areas, what is the temperature gauge? What's the vibe? How is everyone else saying? In our communities, which are worldwide, mind you, but like I said, you may be the golden sheep of your family. I don't like to use the word black sheep anymore. Right? We should be the savior sheep that's gonna, carry them all home. But we'll talk about that later, for goodness sakes. But as we kind of grow into these forms, I'm starting to see our future selves, brother. I'm starting to see when that oversoul and that higher self actually starts to braid into the physical, and you become your avatar in the physical and that consciousness. And I think that even with the AI stuff, it's almost trying to communicate as your telomeres are extending into the oversoul. It's trying to give you data to explain what is happening organically. You know what I mean? Like, hey, let me tell you about this. Let me tell you about the last time we had this. Let me tell you about the last time, like the Akashic in the 5D Terra. But even before that, I think many of us are the reincarnated graduation classes of the past. Like, for example, I think many of us have already gone through the ascension process. Many of the people in the comments right here, many of the people on your channel, and obviously me and you, brother, this is not my first ascension. I can promise you, this is not my first rodeo. Okay, I incarnated with skill sets that I did not learn here. I can promise you. I know you too, right? So as we move forward, though, these graduating classes, I feel that some of the younger souls on Earth, our brothers and sisters, we reincarnated, almost like seniors that graduated into college. We kind of reincarnated back into high school to check on the sophomores and said, hey, we're going to hold your hand through this great transition together. And for me, that's how it really feels in a unified or, angelic or azurite vibe, right? It's that we're here to help our younger selves or our lower selves or our brothers and sisters that may have different experiences in their souls. And the one thing I like to say too is, like, everyone thinks everyone's soul is the same age. And if that was the case, let's just say we've all made different experiences. So some of us coming together, as these, let's just call us the ground crew, superheroes, whatever that might be, or those with angelic vibes or hearts or star seeds or whatever it may be for you in the high vibe, right? By the way, I love Buddha. I love Jesus too. Krishna's fire as well. So what I'm trying to say is, whatever this is for everybody, I got to say Shiva too. Krishna, I love you. Vish, where are you? Okay. But Hanuman, everyone loves you because you're hilarious. But what I'm getting to is, there's something inside of me that's like, you guys, there's a wave coming that's going to like hyper accelerate everyone. And I'm asking you, brother, what are some of the techniques you use to ground? You're a very high powered Arcturian. You have a high speed, low drag neural net CPU cranking 36 hours. You're like 100,000 RPM all the time. And then you got to slow down to be here, right? The real you, the one that's can quantum process multiple realities. What do you do to ground? And I see you in your posts. You're like, I'm in the water. I'm with my family. I'm with my kid. Like, you're doing all the things to bring that high vibe. What would you tell someone who doesn't have that type of lifestyle, but has these high level downloads? What are some wisdom you can share with them? How you ground, how you calm down and connect?
Yeah, I think it's a great question, especially in the next 5 years. Personally, people ask me like, yo, Dr. Lee, what do you do for fun? Like, you know what I love, man? It's all about energy, right? So your feet, literally bringing the energy, and like 90 something% of humanity is stuck in the 3D mental mind. hustle culture or whatever it is, and you can't solve a problem from the same level of consciousness it was created from. So literally, if you're in the 3D mind all the time, eventually, yeah, you can manifest or materialize whatever, but you're literally creating from the 3D. So, grounding it in, literally, you attract what you are. And so this is a great question. You got to bring the energy, from your mind. And what is a manic episode? It's when they just have way too much energy in their mind, right? So the techniques, because I am trying to working on a lot of different beautiful projects right now. So the basics is down to the basics, literally nutrition, right? So food, what type of food? Like grounding, literally nature is so intelligent. Root vegetables, right, will ground you, right? Things that come from the earth will ground you. Exercise, going at least 3 times, 30, 45 minutes a week, right? And, these days, what I'm intending to get started on is martial arts, right? Because martial arts is really about becoming your best self. Not only are you moving, breathing, you have your feet and you're literally like sweating as well, detoxing. So, exercise, right? It's the basics. One of the ways that I think like is really going to be super helpful for a lot of us coming up here is drinking high frequency water. Like if you want to make a simple change in your life, it's the basics, right? So nutrition, exercise, water. What does that spell? New, right? So water, spring, fresh water, and the Icelandic water, and then you can pray over your water. You can hydrogenate your water, right? These are the simple things. Most people are spending, I don't know how much money on groceries, but they're spending like less than that on water. I say reverse that, spend more on your water, right? Because literally heal the water and the water will heal us. We're like 70, 80, 90% water, right? So there's amazing water technologies coming out. And so sunshine every single morning, early morning sunshine. Within the first hour rising, guys, like it's amazing what we can do with just sunshine. Early morning sunshine, when it's shining in, it literally hits the pineal gland, right? And it starts releasing serotonin. And you start your day. It's better than antidepressants. You start your day with a spirit of contentment from abundance, and abundance creates more abundance. 15, 20 minutes of early morning sunshine, not to mention with specific mantras with early morning sunshine and symbols, you can start creating pre-eternal living water hydrolates that Jesus talked about, right? There's amazing things you can do with sunshine. It's energy, free energy. Right. And then, I think most importantly is trust, like, and how do you trust someone? Well, you got to spend time with them. You got to get to know them. And like these next 5 years, it's going to be super important that you trust your higher self, connection with your higher self. And when you trust your higher self, you spend time with your higher self, literally clairaudience, clairvoyance. Like if something's happening on the external, your higher self will literally tell you, hey, Bob, it's time to go to Ecuador. Hey, it's time to tell you they're about to lock it down. Right? You have telepathy. You have information beyond space or time. This is normal. This is natural, right? So, and then trust, and then fresh air, right? Going outside, fresh air. I mean, it's amazing what you can do if you learn how to breathe. Like literally, anything you can do. The universe is mental. The mind will follow the breath, or the breath will follow the mind. If you master your breath, you'll master your mind. If you master your mind, you master the universe, because the universe is mental. Rest, so sleep, right? Having a tough one. We all have tough days. That's fine. Sleep consistently from 10 p.m. to 4 or 5 a.m. right? And watch what just consistent regular sleep does. It's amazing. And then put your feet on the earth. I love foot massages. So like once or twice a week, I literally go and get those old Chinese.
Listen, bro. I need a massage so bad. Don't you tell me about. I get my foot massage 3 times a week, bro.
And
that's
like literally like the Chinese techniques and pressure points, and it's like
$$20, and they hit that point, and you're like, oh my god,
no nonsense, straight to the point. But when someone's literally like giving you a foot massage for 60 minutes, watch when you come out of that place, your energy has literally flowed from your brain all the way down to your feet.
Yep,
you relax and you're out of your mind, right? And you're just being you. And so these are some of the techniques I really enjoy. Obviously, putting your feet on the earth, grounding, getting the anti-inflammatory, connecting with the pulse of the heartbeat of Mother Earth. So these are just a few things that I do to ground, and that's something that I'm continuously improving on. Yeah, because it's really about people think about ascended master, but it's at this point the message I'm receiving is be in your body. Descended master. Yeah, you can go up there. I've been up there so much, gotten all the codes and like understand who I am, all that stuff. Now it's like, no, be in
Bring it here.
Bring it here.
Bring it here.
one thing that I'm really working on is just being comfortable with the uncomfortable. It's okay.
Right.
My identity is eternal. Like, it's okay. Yeah, there's an energy, D2 emotional energy flowing through me. If I suppress or repress it because I was told and programmed that it's bad, it's only gonna get energy. No, allow it to flow. Feel it. It's okay. That's not like it's okay. It's temporary impermanence, right? So allowing the energy to flow, being in my body, and just committing to like, yo, man, I love you, my body. I'm gonna be in my body. Like, I'm here to be human.
Right. Dude, it's okay to be human. And listen, I mean, with my higher selves, I know I get kind of sarcastic sometimes, but sometimes I turn that, hey man, I didn't know better. I play that dumb card all the time. It's different, when you're in the lower dimensional version of yourself, that's the only time you can play the I don't know card. You have to understand, like, you only get to play unconscious in this form. You go up 2 or 3 floors, they're like, hey, you know exactly what you're doing, knock it off. I kind of feel like I'm the dumb blonde from Orange County. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Did I do that? I can't believe that I put your night self in a bag. Oh Lord. No, I like to, and here's the thing about it. Not being attached, but showing up with love and compassion. And I know it's really easy to say. There's a presence that I'm working on, and I know many of you guys are out there, that when we enter a room, the vibe I want, in the beginning it was like, all right, you guys knock it off, no fighting. I do these conferences. I'm like, hey guys, listen, we all know you got different belief systems, especially some of these secret space program conferences, bro. It's like, you don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? Now I feel like instead of, all right, you guys, everybody calm down and have a good time, I feel more like, everybody calm down. We're going to be just fine. We got this. It's like a different version of me is like, you guys, we've already won. Let's go ahead and take a seat and get down to business and brass tacks. Let's talk about and organize what we want to do and what we want to create for planet Earth. It's a different adult version stepping forth who has seen what's to come and is now, planning things out with his brothers and sisters. So that version in them can then step forth. You know what I mean? It's almost like you're saying, hey, can all the adults please sit down in their vessels right now? Let's have a conversation. It's like holding court, but a love first thing where our creator has our back. There's never been more interaction on this planet. We have so much support around this planet and on planet right now that wants us to be successful. When you're watching these distortions on the news and a lot of the stuff that's playing out, I know you probably feel exactly the same way. I'm watching theater. Like, I feel like I'm actually watching a movie of a script that I don't want to watch, but I feel these things playing out. There must be a rhyme or reason, right, for some of these stories, I should say, to be told on the surface. But I'm also here to say this for all the starseeds, angelics, and everyone who incarnated. I did not come down here nor incarnate with my brothers and sisters to play along in a storyline that we never would have agreed to play along with in the first place. We came down here to write our own stories, a new story. We did not come down here to follow a narrative. We came down here to write a new story for all of us and for everyone on Earth about peace, prosperity, sovereignty, and love. And how we're going to pick this whole planet. This whole story for us is the underdog winning. And then, you know what I mean? And that there's no better. Listen, everyone out there loves the underdog story. You know what I mean? And if you don't think it's the underdog story, do you guys remember the 90s and 2000s? Do you remember how unconscious this planet was, bruh?
Yeah.
I mean, in the 90s, 2000s, 2005, I mean, a lot of people just woke up. So what I'm trying to say is that for everyone here, it's time to write our own story. It's time for us to come together and create what we want. And we want what type of reality we want our children to grow up in and really be the older brothers and sisters that all of us didn't have. I don't know about you guys. I'm in my 40s. I didn't have an older brother or older sister who was awake. You could say, hey, that's the Phantom Matrix. Don't do that. Hey, man, you're an empath. Please don't do drugs to sedate yourself. Hey, man. You know what I mean? No one told me all the rhyme and reasons about how this whole game was set up to keep us sedated and asleep. now that I'm an adult and you're an adult and you're a great father, you know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
sure your child, you're going to be like, you are the golden child of the Jedi. You know,
Absolutely.
I know you're like, don't listen to anyone, Shadow Deer. You are the one. So what I'm trying to say is for all you parents out there, it really is this 3-generational swing to be that and have that leadership for a generation that truly we never got. I got to be honest with you. My parents were asleep. I know your parents were asleep.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that we're becoming the grandparents of the golden age. No one's telling us this.
Yeah.
No one's telling you, hey, by the way, you're in your 40s. By the way, do you know your friends and family are actually the creators and the foundational stones for the golden age on Earth? Did you know that? And you're like, wait, what? Yeah. When you guys are grandparents, just pay attention. That being said, brother, so what do you think you're going to be talking about at the bridge? Give them a little taste. I know you're going to talk about the 12D avatar. I know you're going to crush that. But what are some things? I mean, I feel like this is more than just like an interview. I feel like this is a temperature gauge, a temperature check for all of us. What are some things that you find are really important to pay attention to right now?
Yeah, I mean, honestly speaking, like last time I was invited to speak at a live event, I thought I knew what I was going to talk about, and they gave me the mic, and it's just like for an hour I just went, right, and it was like a live transmission based upon who the audience was and what needed to come forth. And sometimes I'm in that flow where that it just comes out. But yeah, absolutely, my intention really would be to explain the infrastructure of the universe. It's a mathematical system. So according to the system that I've learned, eternal life wisdom, to explain the infrastructure of the universe that we decided to live in. And then, I'm going to talk about it and try to explain as much about it. And then most importantly, I would like to do a 9-minute activation for those people who resonate, to be able to literally re-encrypt the morphogenetic fields of their DNA, if they so choose, to the base 12, at least eternal life. I'm going to invite in the eternal life councils, and usually that energy can be palpable in the room. So I'm going to invite people to join me for that. So yeah, that's kind of like my passion that, I'm sharing from, this is my passion. Like for the last 4 or 5 years, I call it the eternal life wisdom. And it's a science. So I'm going to try to share as much of the science as possible, the infrastructure of the 15-dimensional universe that we're in. I'm going to show probably a couple slides, and then I'm going to try to let it just flow through, man, and just let the passion flow through, and love. And then at the end, really just end it. We'll see if I'm going to do, I don't know. I got to talk to Sandra, see if there's going to be a side event where I get to do breath work for people. That's one of my
Yes.
is breath work for people. So we'll see. And then, the breath works are, people get to really experience something, like, whether most people experience a breakthrough or an activation or a release, like that. So yeah, we'll see. But that's what's flowing through right now. But, really it's just being in tune and letting it flow through.
Listen, I'm the same way. If you ask me what I'm talking about, I just have to do it to you. If you interview me, I'm like, hey, what are you going to be talking about? I'm like, man, sometimes I just get that microphone and step on the gas, and I don't even know, my higher self starts coming through, and they're going to say whatever they need to say for what the people there need to hear. And I feel that us as facilitators of this great change, we copy and paste our DNA codes and our activation codes and all of our brothers and sisters and all the beings we hang out with. And I've said that for many times. It's our job to activate each other's dormant DNA, because many of us hold the keys and many of us hold those doors. And when you put us together, we start unlocking each other faster than you can ever imagine. Coming to an event like that and just being in the crowd, just being in the audience, right? And being around beings that have their DNA activated, you just being in range of them, it's all energy, right? It's all frequency. I'm going to copy and paste all my DNA upgrade codes to every single person there and vice versa. But that's how we grow as a family faster. Maybe you didn't go to Giza, right, and get these activation codes. I did. Here you go, brother. Maybe you didn't go to some of these sacred sites around the planet. I did. Here you go, brother. And vice versa. Maybe you went some places I never did. Here you go, brother. Thank you so much, sister. So there's just something about all of us coming together. And then obviously I like to dance. I like to dance with you guys. I mean, it's a galaxy ball, man. Like, I mean, you got your little shiny. That's why I wore the shiny jacket. I'm just saying, get ready. Okay. We had the big conference in Sedona, Rise of the Guardians, which we're doing again, by the way. We'll talk about that in the future. But people roll up that invited from town, and I go, "Hey man, why aren't you out on the dance floor?" And he's like, "I did not dress appropriately." Like they felt like, because people were, all the ladies were just like, it was insane. It was like Galaxy Ball, on 1000. So I was like, I like this. And there's something to us down here in the physical hanging out. It's kind of like a reunion. It's like all the starseeds, when we incarnated on this planet, they spread us out all across the planet for maximum effectiveness. So you could have people and beings and brothers and sisters that you incarnated with that are not your blood family, but your energies come from the same place, and you guys are all here on mission. So it's nice to actually have a real reunion of all of us. And man, we send ripples through time. I know when they say that, hey, they're concerned with a handful of us getting together. You put 300 light beings from all over this planet together with the same mode of love and compassion, and that we're taking the reins back on this planet, held in Dallas, which is the 2026, the new stock exchange opens in Dallas, hence the new financial system. We're there. We're already there. This whole thing is already turning. If you look at this, what we're doing from the top down, we are bringing that golden energy from our creator into this density to uplift not only the United States, but the planet. And I feel that there's a greater calling on, my guide said, "Hey bro, call it the bridge." You get on camera, you're like, "Hey man, we're bridging the higher dimensions to the physical." I'm like, the bridge wasn't even my thing. It just was like, it's called the bridge. You guys are bridging the higher dimensions to the physical. And then obviously with Atlas swinging by, right? This object coming in from the center of our galaxy, flying right by our solar system. The closest it gets is around October 16th. I just feel like there's a large culmination of planetary things that are going on, energies going on, but really the activation of our brothers and sisters. And I just can't wait to see you guys and party with you, learn with you, and grow with you. Brother, was there anything else you'd like to share?
No, man, looking forward to it. Thanks for having me. Absolutely. That's really what it's about. Everybody carries unique codes. Everybody is a unique source code. Mm-hmm. Everybody has codes. And, to come together on the physical in the spirit of intentionality to spark each other, because the codes are already within. It's really about just sparking back into remembrance and the morphogenetic field there. And everybody carries codes. And especially when you come together with, combined intention of love and wanting to see each other succeed and literally to remember together and to have fun doing it. I mean, I think that's what it's really all about. So appreciate you, Rion, for putting this together, the Bridge Expo Dallas. And no accidents, on some level.
There's no accidents.
Yeah, no accidents. We all decided, yo, man, you want to go to Earth? Yeah, let's do it. Let's volunteer. Yeah, absolutely. I resonate with what you're saying. I mean, these next 5 years are going to be, vibe your frequency, when it determines your reality, right? So it's like literally vibe high, find your tribe. Once you find them, love them hard. And that's what it's really about. Conscious celebration together, sharing codes together, sparking each other, remembering, walking each other home, and having a good time doing it. Looking forward to it, bro. Thanks for having me on, man.
Absolutely. Where can our family find you, brother?
Yeah, I think my Instagram is Samuel B. Lee MD. I'm putting most of my stuff on there, doing a lot of projects. So yeah, most of it will channel through there. Awesome,
bro. All right, you guys, ladies and gentlemen, come see us at the Bridge Expo. Check out in all the descriptions. There's links to get your tickets. They're selling fast in the hotel rooms and everything. And we look forward to seeing you guys out there. Okay. Till next time. Peace.
Peace.
Recruited by the Star League, then the Frontier.
Now you're ready.
This is it. Here we go.